Chad Greenway, a.k.a. Chadwick Jerome Ezekiel Greenway, is one of my favorite Vikings players. All heart and hustle, a guy who just really got after it, and he made an impact during his Vikings career. Also, awesome off the field, giving back to the community. Future Vikings Ring of Honor guy, it should be said. So there you go. So I love Chad Greenway, and he came to the defense of former Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer, the coach where he really grew up, and he was part of some really elite defenses here at the Vikings. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be a little bit of rose-colored glasses, but let's walk through the comments. So this is from our friends over at Vikings Wire. They put this together. Former Vikings star linebacker Chad Greenway believes ex-coach Mike Zimmer came with that sort of style that needed adjusting. A player's ability to adapt and adjust to a more aggressive coaching style likely told the story on how they experienced Zimmer. While Greenway admitted that kind of coaching isn't for everyone, he still thinks the source of the information was an elite football mind once you get beyond the new school preferences. Zimmer wasn't for everybody, and I think his approach was very aggressive. Greenway told Fox News Digital, "It's a little more pressure and a little more serious, and that's fine. I could adapt because I'd been in the league for 9 years already. I could adapt and adjust, but a lot of other guys couldn't, and it was hard for them, and I could understand that." So finishing up, I think he's a very good football coach, an elite football mind. Free advertising for Paul Allen, 9 to noon, and at the end of the day is a great guy that I love playing for, end quote. So we could read this a couple ways. On one hand, he's backing his former coach, which is great. I mean, Chad Greenway still had some good years under Zimmer, and they really built some elite defenses in those first couple of years of the Zimmer regime. Secondly, you could see that as a bit of a slight on some of his former teammates, especially the younger guys. So Chad is of an older generation. Maybe you call him Gen Z or an older millennial. And some of these younger guys, what generation are we on now? Are they Gen Z? Was Greenway more Gen X? I don't know. Someone's a Gen. Anyway, some of the younger guys, they didn't like the in-your-face coaching style. And Eric Kendricks, another star linebacker for the Vikings, another future Vikings Ring of Honor inductee, he talked about the fear-based, fear-driven leadership and organization. And, of course, Mike Zimmer was a big part of that. So maybe it's generational, and Zimmer... The one thing about Zimmer is that what you see is what you get, and he was not going to change, and that was both an asset and a liability with him, right? So the Vikings did need that kick in the shorts after Leslie Frazier, who was a player's coach to a fault. So Zimmer came in, kicked some ass, got some things done, but after a while, players tune you out. They do. At the end of the day, they are grown-ass men. They aren't high school kids. This isn't Junction Boys. This isn't Texas A&M, man, and that's a reference that we've made several times already. And Zimmer... I mean, he started out great, made the playoffs. Every other year, Mike Zimmer makes the playoffs, yada, 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 yada. His .562 winning percentage is third best in team history behind Denny Green and Bud Grant. And, he went to the playoffs. He won a handful of playoff games, went to an NFC title game, blah, 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 whatever. But, yeah, it got stale. It did, especially those final 2 seasons where the Vikings were never above 500 at any point. You could tell that the locker room had just tuned him out and they were just done, especially his precious defense, because that's all that mattered with Zimmer. Me and Kirk Cousins are watching film together. It only took you 4 years. Come on, man. Like it was clear Zimmer never wanted Kirk Cousins, and he acted like it, which is just ridiculous, because the number one relationship on the team has to be the head coach and the quarterback. And I don't care if you're defensive minded. Belichick's defensive minded, and he had a professional relationship with Tom Brady. The fact that Zimmer just ignored it, I don't know, man. But you look at the defensive stats, because that's the only side of the ball that Zimmer cared about. They were number 1 in 2017. Numero uno in yards, numero uno in points. So that's pretty effing good, right? And then, I mean, the Vikings' defensive rise, it was like Bitcoin. It was like, yeah. And then lately it's like, not so much. So then you go in terms of yards from 4, 14, 27, and then 30th. And then in scoring, you go from 1, 9, 5, 29, 24. And this on the heels in 2020 where Zimmer said that he's never had a bad defense. I mean, that will just bite you in the ass. Pride goeth before the fall. So, I don't know. Like, Chad is right. I mean, the Vikings under Zimmer built up some fantastic defenses right away. But, yeah, something got lost in translation. Either Zimmer didn't change things up, and I think as a head coach, you do need to adjust, or players just start tuning him out. And I think Greenway, being in that Vikings linebacker room, I think that he's talking about specifically Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, because those are the guys, the team leaders, team captain, and de facto team captain that really set the tone. And if they checked out, everyone else is going to check out, man. So it is what it is. And this is a spot where no one's right, no one's wrong. Like, Chad is right that Zimmer is an elite football mind, and he can be right that players tuned him out and that Zimmer should have changed up some strategy a little bit, but it is what it is. And I think Zimmer is probably going to take this year off, decompress a little bit, and then I think he's going to get back on that horse. I think that he'll be in high demand as a defensive coordinator around the league, or maybe even in college, or hell, I mean, Zimmer loves football so much, he'll probably just go to I don't know, Northern Kentucky and coach some high school team to a state championship. My way or the highway. They'll win 9-6. They'll never kick because you generally don't kick in high school football. It'll be a dream scenario. Oh, high school football will be a dream for Zimmer. Like, you play a 4-4 stack defense, or you play a 5-2 with a monster back. You run the football every single play. You just hand the ball to your best player. You never throw. You never kick. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Except he'll have to go for it because you don't really punt very much. Anyway. But your thoughts are our thoughts. Chad Greenway calling Mike Zimmer an elite football mind. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.